Hey all, wanted to show a little bit of the progress I've been doing on the old cabin. Now, ignore the giant mess. This is still the mess from the tornado, the wood I'm saving, and hopefully I'm going to reuse all this in the cabin itself, so I will be able to, put this in there. But I cut a door, cut a little opening here for the door. Not done with the outside yet. I still have some stuff up there to replace, but this is our old front door in our house when we moved here. We replaced it. So this is the side that used to be the this is where, I don't know if you remember old videos, that is where the water tank used to be, and I made it the door. And that's basically, don't pay any attention to the framing because this is an old barn and I don't really care about proper framing. I saved some old windows. These are windows from an old house actually, and they were storm windows. We moved here with them and about half of them got broken by goats. We had them sitting in this middle room here, this middle barn room, which is a storage room, and some goats got into the room and just smashed up all the glass. So these are the ones that are left, and I used one of them for my new window here. Now, let me explain to all of you with OCD like me, that looks horribly crooked, and you're probably like, what's going on? Well, the window itself is level, perfectly level. The braces for it on the bottom are level. The frame is level. The barn is not level. That is a problem, of course, but it's an old barn, and I'm not going to, rebuild the barn or anything. It's pretty solid. It's not too bad. So that was some kind of thing that happened. I mean, this is an 80-year-old barn. That happens. So this is not a $300,000 house. This is a old barn. So I worked with what I had, and I leveled out a frame for the window. And then I did the braces and everything in there, and then put this old window up here. This is an old storm window and it's dirty. I need to clean it, but I put this one on the inside. I basically screwed it in, the frame itself onto the frame, the wooden frame, and then I'm going to put another one. I have another one of the same exact size. I'm going to put on the outside, so it'll be like a double pane window, a faux double pane window. This, of course, this entrance, this is where the entrance used to be. This is where the door used to be. So I closed it all off from the outside with wood. And, of course, I still have that big hole right there from the rotted wood. There's still a little bit of rotted wood I need to fix, but there's no more termites. It got eaten up with termites. And the termites haven't been here in years and years and years. I used to have chickens out here, and chickens love to eat termites, so termites skedaddled a long time ago. The rest of this is pretty messy because of my tools, but I wanted to show you this trapdoor. If I can move all this. So what I've done is, the floor was rotted. There was a beam that goes right here all the way across, and it rotted. And when I would walk on this, it would crunch pretty bad. So I cut that out. I cut out the section to get to that beam. Let me show you. I just looked it up here. I'll probably make some kind of handle later. But that's basically the door down into the crawl space. You can see where I replaced the beam. Well, this is the beam here, and then this is the frame for the door. So I replaced the beam all the way across. I went under there, and it was really bad. So it was actually a 4x4 beam, and I just replaced it with a 2x6. But should be good because there's piers under there. So did the frame. This is everything in this build is recycled. It's stuff I already had. That's kind of my number one rule for this build. I want to keep it as cheap as possible, preferably free, So everything is scrap wood. All this wood you see here is all scrap wood. The frame here, you see that purple paint on there? That's actually a kid's bed. I made them a triple bunk bed when they were little. I have 4 kids and 3 girls, so they all shared a room, and they had a triple bunk bed, and that was part of that because they're old now and they don't need it anymore. So I cut it up, saved the wood, and it is repurposed as a frame for the trapdoor in my barn here. So why would I make a trapdoor? Well, for one, since I already cut the wood out to get down in there, there's no other access down there, by the way. I figured it would be cool to keep it. And I found some exciting things down there. There's some, I don't know, shotgun shells. There's this turtle shell right here, which I thought was kind of cool. I'm going to use that for decoration in the barn later. But it's cool. It's not a very deep. Let me step down in here. It comes up to my about lower thigh, I guess. So it's, I don't know, maybe 3 feet, maybe 2.5 feet. And it's a good place to store stuff that I don't really care if it, if it gets in the weather. I can't really think of anything right now offhand because I want to preserve everything I can, but that is basically it. And it's also kind of a extra shelter. If something happened, we could get down in there. And this entire barn has made it through several tornadoes. I mean, well, to run out here, if there's a tornado, it's not very practical because tornadoes happen immediately. But if we're out here, so that is that. Very, very heavy. Oh, and as you can see, I want to show you this too. This wood, now this is kind of rotted here, but it's still solid. This wood is all, see, it's milled wood. You can see the bark right there. So, oh, you can see there's lots of holes from wood boring beetles too, which is not good. Anyway, this is a super thick milled, 80-year-old milled wood. You can even see the mill marks in that wood. That's why I wanted to save that. I didn't want to, put plywood down or anything. Those hinges are all kind of scrapped together, old hinges I had, door hinge and things like that. Again, trying to keep it as cheap as possible. But everything else, this is where I'm at. I'm going to insulate. I'm going to use the old wood you saw out there and the old metal. I have a lot of old roofing metal from this. I got a new roof on here. So the old roofing metal is going to be used on the inside walls here. I have an old wood stove that I got for free. I'm going to bring that in here and probably put it over on that side by the window, maybe in that corner right there. Build some beds in here. This is another access door that I will be closing off because I don't really need it, I guess. That goes out to the cow stall out there. I think I showed that last time, but it's not really needed. I'd rather have that wall space for beds and shelves and things like that. So that will be used. This will all be insulated. I got a bunch of free insulation from my father-in-law, which is great. Probably enough to do this whole thing. And for the ceiling, I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. There's not really room for a loft because of the way the beams are. There's like double beams and they're right in the way of being able to climb up in there. But I'll probably use it. I'll at least make a trapdoor to store, to throw stuff up there like boxes, things like that, whatever I might need. Maybe some kind of sealed containers with food or something like that. But it's a high ceiling anyway. That's probably, I'm 6 foot, no, maybe it's about 10 feet. Yeah, anyway. So that's going to be just closed in. I don't know how I'm going to insulate it yet because it does leak a little bit, like that. What do they call that thing at the top there? The eave or something like that. When it rains really, really hard, you get a few drops in here. And one of the great things about this is it's so drafty that it, these giant gaps are here in the wall, is it'll dry up pretty nicely in here. So I want to maintain that as much as I can. What else? So I have the floor. This floor, I was going to throw plywood over it. And I have some old leftover vinyl flooring. I was going to put that down, but you know what? I think I'm going to keep it like this. After it's cleaned up, it'll look cool because this is old original wood. Now I will have a rug, that rug over there that I got for free also. I will be putting that over the middle of the whole room, so it'll cover up this trapdoor. But other than that, I'm going to fill in the gaps as much as I can with scrap wood and maybe expanding foam. I'm not sure. And then, but I don't want it to stick out and look bad, so I'll probably, you know, after I put the expanding foam in, I'll probably sweep like the sawdust over the foam and kind of maybe look more natural. I have no other plans of insulating the floor though, besides that. And I know I'm going to regret that in the winter, but it doesn't get that cold here. So this is where I'm at so far in the project. Window in. I got to move that electric over there. Oh yeah, that's another thing is, you know, I said I wasn't going to restore the electric out here after it got damaged from the tornado, but I did. I got it back working because it was basically just hooking up one wire in the building. So now it's I got a light out here and one outlet. But I don't know, you know, that's not an off-grid thing because it's tied to the house. So I may still put solar out here, or I may just make that power, you know, for emergencies only or something like that. We'll see. I would like this to be a barn that's more or less a haven from, you know, haven from the internet and haven from stuff. And I'd like to have a little bookshelf in here and come out here. I already have a chair that I'm going to put out here, an old recliner chair that I'm going to put out here. I have a lot of plans for this being a haven, you know, of sorts that I can just come out here and relax, and you know, the kids can camp out here. I'll probably put bunk beds so they can camp, and we'll all camp out here. So yeah, that's the plans with this. That's how far along I am. I hope to work on it today. I don't like taking videos as I'm working because I don't have a lot of time, and I sit down and, you know, I don't want to have to set up cameras and tripods and all that while I'm working. So I pull out my phone and make videos like this. So I hope that works for you. But there we go. I'm probably going to work on it more today and show progress in the next video. So thanks everyone for watching. Bye.